China's military aggression and dominance in the Indo-Pacific region has brought together the United States, Japan and the Philippines. White House hosted the first trilateral meeting between the leaders of these nations. President Joe Biden gathered the Philippine President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. and Japanese Prime Minister Fumio Kishida for a first-of-its-kind White House summit in a bid to show that they are in lockstep about countering China's military assertiveness. During the opening remarks, the U.S. President declared the trilateral summit with Japan and the Philippines as a new era of partnership. Biden said he was committed to deepening maritime and security ties with the two allies, further adding Washington's support for Manila and Tokyo is ironclad. As he assured his allies worried about increasingly assertive Chinese actions in the disputed waters.
President, Mr. Prime Minister, today we mark a historic moment, the first ever leaders summit between the United States, Japan, and the Philippines. And it's truly an honor to have you both here as we begin this new era of partnership. The United States defense commitments to Japan and to the Philippines are ironclad. They're ironclad.
The long-simmering tensions between China and its neighbors took center stage. And according to the White House, the leaders have agreed to step up military exercises, including plans for the Philippines and Japanese Coast Guard members to patrol aboard a U.S. Coast Guard vessel in the Indo-Pacific. The allies also plan to conduct more training exercises at sea.
Japan, the US, and the Philippines are maritime nations connected by the Pacific Ocean and are natural partners. We share fundamental values and principles and have supported regional economic development. In order to secure peace and prosperity in the Indo-Pacific, I hope to reaffirm our intention to further strengthen trilateral cooperation and to present the specific way forward through today's meeting.
Maritime security topped the summit agenda following a series of incidents, including Chinese Coast Guard ships firing water cannons last month at a civilian Filipino boat. This comes as China claims almost the entire South China Sea, including the maritime economic zones of neighboring nations. The second Thomas Shoal is within the Philippines' 320-kilometer exclusive economic zone. Meanwhile, during the trilateral, Biden also announced that the three nations are launching a new economic corridor in the Philippines as part of the G7 partnership for global infrastructure investment. According to the American president, the economic corridor will help develop clean energy, port, agriculture and other projects in the country.
Of a peaceful, stable and prosperous Indo-Pacific.
Now, to tell us about the key highlights of this trilateral between the United States, Japan and the Philippines, we were earlier joined by Voice of America correspondent Chris Casqueo from the White House. Listen to this.
The Philippines, which is a key partner of the U.S. defense strategy in the region. Even though there are no permanently stationed U.S. troops there, the U.S. and the Philippines have a mutual defense treaty that dates back to 1951, so post-World War II. And in 2023, last year, they agreed upon 4 additional sites under the 2014 Enhanced Defense Cooperation Agreement, known as EDCA, to provide additional staging capacity for U.S. military where U.S. troops rotate their presence no more than 10,000 at a time. Now, the Philippines also needs to retrofit its military assets, so the U.S. is helping with those upgrades. The U.S. Senate has proposed $2.5 billion in grants over 5 years to help Manila purchase weapons from Washington. Now, on to Japan and its role in this partnership. It has 50,000 U.S. troops stationed in its country, but command and control for those troops is located in Hawaii. The U.S. and Japan committed on Wednesday during their bilateral meeting between Prime Minister Fumio Kishida and President Joe Biden to better coordinate their military command and control with some reforms. Now, of course, this is all to discourage China's so-called gray zone tactics in the South China Sea, which the Philippines calls the West Philippine Sea. Tactics like water cannons and aiming military-grade lasers at vessels.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.